The deal. The road to Bangra was wide, big enough to fit several carts, caravans, and their allied footmen on it simultaneously. It had to be this way. The trade route in this part of the world had recently saw an uptake in traffic, and so by order of the Adim Sangha, sovereign ruler of these lands, the entire 500-mile stretch was to be doubled in width and paved. The brittle bones of those that died constructing the road peppered its edges all along the route, new life springing forth in the form of trees, brushes, and the homes of small animals inside those ill-fated bones, a natural mockery of how fickle yet enduring life itself is. Along the road walked a familiar stranger, the future king of Zuraz, Zalek. The young man trod across the sodden path, lamenting at the abundance of thick mud, weighing him and the others down. The man carried a large sack bound on his back with thick ropes, and it looked as if he might fall over with one ill step. "Journeying to Bangra, elder?" said Zalek, his accent and the tongue of these people being harsh, obviously foreign. The older man smiled, missing teeth, that wide grin of his belated bemusement. "Why, no, stranger. I'm actually heading to Naganta. It's a city a few miles up the road from Bangra near the Gulf. My grandson lives there. He's captain of the city watch," the man said proudly, absolutely beaming. Returning his gaze to their fellow travelers, then back to the elder, Zalek looked back down. Their height difference was noticeable. "Oh, and why might you have the need for such a heavy load on this journey, friend?" Pointing at the pack on his newfound friend's back, Zalek couldn't help but to feel concern for the elder. That very same concern couldn't be more visible. "Oh, this old stuff? This ain't but my clothes and a few trinkets from my shack. I've decided to live with my grandson and his family. The jungle is getting too dangerous for the likes of me." The man waves his hands in the air as if dismissing the whole jungle. "You can leave this shithole to the mosquitoes." The old man's grin turned into a full-on laugh, the sudden change in mood causing others up ahead of them to turn around and look briefly. Being close to the end of the line, those behind joined in on his merriment with smiles and giggles. These seemed to be a fun-loving people. This made Zalek smile. "I'd like to agree with you, my wizened friend. By the way, I am Zalek of Zuraz," he said, extending his much larger hand. He would have looked like a giant to the old, diminutive man. Seeing the universal greeting of mankind, the old man kept his ear-to-ear smile and shook Zalek's hand firmly. "Famajay, youngster, it's curious to see you speak my language. We don't get many from your part of the world in this area. What's your business in these parts?" With a deep sigh, Zalek gave slow response. "Well, that's a long story." The young Zura proceeded to tell the old man the precarious tale of how he had initially set sail from Madanga by way of Sasapar at the southernmost tip of Orion, in the lands of the Q. He told Famajay of the perilous storm that beset them halfway there, the Sea of Teeth, living up to its namesake. Their ship was attacked by a squad of krakens. He showed the man his arm, the muscled limb being obviously bruised and cut, as if razor-sharp hooks had been put in him. The beasts were juvenile, thank the gods. Even still, many of the crew died as the ship was capsized. Famajay looked at the tall stranger with wonder in his eyes, like that of a child. "And just how did you survive all that? Whoever you pray to must really like you." The procession walked further through the jungle, coming up to a cascading wide staircase, leading up a series of overgrown hills. Taking a deep breath, Zalek continued his tale. "See, that's the interesting part. I don't remember. All I know is that I woke up a few miles from where we met on the beach. Some fishermen told me of the nearest large city, so I made my way here." The old man brushed a branch aside as they continued to walk and talk. "That's not particularly why you're standing here, though." The old man looked quizzically up at Zalek, the latter's brows furrowing. "There's someone I have urgent business with somewhere in these lands. I suspect he's in Bangra. It is your most populous city, correct?" The old man nodded. "Something like that. Bangra is the same size as Naganta, give or take a few. Naganta is much older, however." Zalek nodded. That bastard Namas was sure to be in Bangra. He couldn't resist being a part of something fresh.